which I can see, to 10 rounds to 2 for Canelo Alvarez. That seems ludicrous, fellas. You wonder what the clash of styles will bring. We're underway, round number 1. As it is, Golovkin is also as...
Canelo may not be the most skilled fighter at 154 or 160, but he has beaten some of the most skilled fighters.
So the man who beat Sergio Martinez. Good combination there by Canelo as he tries it. Sergio Martinez beat Kelly Pavlik, who beat Jermaine Taylor, who beat Bernard Hopkins, who Chris Mannix, even you have to admit, was the middleweight champion of the world.
He was the middleweight champion. As far as lineal goes, I don't care.
Could have been very vicious, but he just missed.
Good combination by Canelo and moves forward again behind the jab, throwing the right hand. As Canelo Alvarez eats a jab here, looking sharp in round number 1. Another good jab.
Very sharp with the counter punches. Coming up short right now because both of them are really...
In a hard-fought win against this super fight, Jacobs made things to Alvarez. Round number 2, Chris Mannix.
Because he has to get an angle on Golovkin. He can't just stay in front of him.
Straight ahead fighter with the jab straight out. You see both men throwing out.
Canelo does.
See Canelo re-establish jab. He's able to get out of danger. See him back up and get away from shots. It's subtle, Sergio. We've seen a lot of Golovkin fights at this point, and it's subtle, but he is just a master in there of keeping the space exactly.
It looked like he would take a punch to the chin, but he rode with the power of the punch and
just falls short. That's something that you can do when you fight your whole life and you have 300 to 400
a lot of styles as far as combinations and the counter and the fight.
It's short, and it does have power, and he's always ready to throw power shots if the opportunity presents itself. Final seconds of round number 2. Uppercut to the body by Canelo.
Love that counter uppercut by Canelo. He took it to the body instead of the chin.
Versions of each shot.
Interesting. Canelo's telling his corner that Golovkin doesn't punch, but yet he's the one moving and backing up. We'll see if that continues.
Round 3 here in Las Vegas. Brian Kenny with Sergio Mora and Chris Mannix. The middleweight championship of the world. Belts on the line include the IBF, WBA, and the WBC. Lineal as well. Good jab by Triple G. Canelo comes back and fires a right hand to the body.
You know, Gennady Golovkin is a great middleweight.
Throwing uppercuts, throwing straight right hands. Alvarez is aesthetically pleasing. Again, has a good explosive style. Comes back right.
They're inside doing so many things that I don't know if everyone's picking them up, but it's brilliant what they're doing in there.
Wow, underneath the hook, too. Just a beautiful weave. I don't use the word weave very often now in boxing, but that's Golovkin getting underneath the hook and throws a hook back and lands on Canelo. Canelo tries with
counter, coming forward now.
These are one of these fights, and this is how you know it's a great fight. When someone asks you, hey, who's supposed to win? And you say, you know what? I don't know. We don't know who's supposed to win this fight. Dropping down low, Canelo tries the hook to the liver. Uppercut lands by Canelo.
For the right shot. That's where it's going to land.
We're through. Gave that round away, 2 rounds to 1 in favor of Canelo Alvarez.
Round 4 in Las Vegas, Brian Kenny. It's being fought at a brisk pace. And a good sharp jab from Alvarez.
And once again in that corner, Abel Sanchez asked Golovkin to punch at the shoulder. Don't look at the head. Right now, the head movement of Canelo has been really sharp right now. He's come back with sharp counters. Punch at the shoulder. Make sure you stop the target.
Good combinations by Canelo Alvarez and a body shot there. That's scored. Now, back comes Triple G. Triple G with the hook. High-level championship action. Watch a jab fall a half-inch in front of his face. He is such a defensive master there. Canelo, not bad himself, able to
mirror right now, but Right now, Golovkin.
Golovkin go 12 rounds against Daniel Jacobs. Does the kind of boogeyman mystique come off Golovkin after a fight like that?
That's a great point, Chris, and yes, it does, because if Jacobs was known not to have a chin, and
Jacobs couldn't stand up to your power.
He did go down. Both of us put each other down, that's for sure. Thanks for bringing that up, Chris.
A rare act of kindness, Chris. Right hand and a hook from Golovkin. He presses in again. Canelo spending some time on the ropes and live to tell about it. Always. Alvarez, though, able to slip those shots. Right hand by Golovkin. Good sharp jab by Canelo. And a right hand. Yeah, the only difference you see between the two, really, because they're both
so you got to give Canelo some credit for that.
Note as to who I think won the round. The last two I've got question marks next to the initial.
Yeah, I've got a dead were tough to score. I think from Gennady Golovkin.
You see in the back of the world, no doubt about that, 160 pounds, earning his way with several belts and putting them all on the line here. Canelo again on the rope. And is there Sergio, isn't it?
And that's what's not going to move. So you got to hit down there. Forget about the head. Right now, concentrate on the body if you're Golovkin. Touch something, punch something.
Attack less so again.
Canelo is not that type of boxer. He's more prone to stand right in front of you. But he is extremely sturdy and very clever as well, moving his head. Good right. Marked up in any fashion. His eyes, his face, he's rarely touched and rarely eats one flush. Both men exchange good right hands. Short, tight punches as well. Right hand.
Took Golovkin's power really nicely there.
For Golovkin, though, to establish that he's landing is important. These guys need to win rounds. How about that? And how about this? Now Canelo fights off the ropes.
Not sure what kind of strategy it is for Canelo to fight off the ropes like this. He's not, there he goes out there, but he's not taking a ton of shots. The judge is going to look at that and see something different.
Yeah, in the previous round, Chris, you're right. He wasn't really taking any shots at all. But here now, Golovkin is scoring. And you're leaving. Sixth round here, middleweight championship of the world in Las Vegas. Canelo Alvarez out firing. And Chris, as much as I say I try not to score these rounds, it looked like, and I even said Golovkin won that last round. Do you agree?
Yeah, 3 rounds to 2, 48-47 for Gennady Golovkin. I don't like this change in strategy for Canelo to fight more against the ropes, which we're seeing again right here.
I heard 2 chopping right hands by Golovkin just landed while Canelo was against the ropes again.
Firing back Canelo Alvarez, and there, a hook to the body off a right hand. Short and hard stuff from Canelo. Good jab as well. And Golovkin actually moves backward. Eats another jab from Canelo. And a hook.
Give your man a chance. In the battle of the head movement and counter-punching, Canelo's looking really sharp, but I think...
You watch a lot of his fights, you see it is difficult to even measure the guy's head move or body move, how hard that shot was.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell what's really effective, but if Golovkin is coming forward throwing punches like that, that's effective enough to win the rounds.
Canelo again backs up into the ropes, and Golovkin unable to do much and blocks those shots. Now moves forward, body shot lands.
Those are the effective ones. Even if you block them, you still feel it. Your elbow digs in your... Notice how Canelo's arms a little dropped after that body shot. Your arms get numb some.
Oh, right here.
I do, and maybe it was that body shot.
He was able to do that against Danny Jacobs. 7th round, Golovkin marked up in any way. There is a little redness there on the right cheek. So Canelo Alvarez able to at least put his firing back with uppercuts. Golovkin coming back with a hard
jabs, but once that stopped, Golovkin...
And Lemieux was backing up. No, you know, Canelo's not taking the type of damage that Lemieux did, but he started to get hit pretty clean.
I mentioned he throws the harder shots. He loads up a little bit more. The right hand by Golovkin and a jab. Golovkin is just much more effortless and scores much.
That he's getting pushed back, not by effective pressure.
Golovkin now jumps up, gets on his big gulp of air.
See, Canelo's being forced back. That's the difference. Great jab there by Golovkin for a power jab.
Now he's got him there. Now he goes to... Golovkin is a methodical stalker. He's Measured coming in.
The thing about Golovkin's power is he doesn't smother his power. It comes from technique.
Been close, but Triple G is making his mark. 7-0. Canelo Alvarez 49-1-1.
This point, 68-65 in favor of Golovkin. Interesting to hear Abel Sanchez say, don't give away those last 30 seconds. And I guess you have to be careful when a guy tries to steal the round.
Golovkin now.
The jab has been very effective on Gennady Golovkin's part. It's a shotgun jab. It's been running nicely. And in close fights like this, where it's back and forth, a good, powerful jab like that could be the difference.
Loading up, tried it again. It's a beautiful jab by Golovkin, straight up.
And those are the clean punches. Good body shots there by Canelo, but you remember the jabs.
Can only digest so much, can only process so much, and you have to come out with what you think, or who you think won that certain exchange.
They're judge-friendly. They're easy to see. It snaps the head back, even though Canelo countered with two nice body shots.
He establishes rhythm in this fight. Good body shot.
Body shot or the clean head shot that snapped the head back.
Very inexact science, again, the scoring, trying to get line the system, but it's very subjective. And oftentimes, the boxers themselves don't know who wins these rounds, especially at the highest level, and a lot of bad intent.
I tell you what, I'd rather get hit with my head snapping back than invest it to the body, because those body shots linger. So for me, at least, a body shot.
Triple G pressing forward, cops, giddy up. Canelo is not allowing Canelo to breathe.
They both exchanged body shots, but it was Golovkin coming forward that I think landed a little harder.
Time! Angle and land his own uppercut. Round 9, obviously scheduled for 12, the championship round, the championship distance. Brian Kenny, Sergio Mora, and Chris Mannix. This is Las Vegas, middleweight championship of the world. Canelo Alvarez comes out firing out of the blue trunks. In the gray trunks, that is Triple G.
Some of these rounds, Canelo Alvarez comes out pretty fast early, and Canelo starts fighting off the ropes.
In this case, it is Alvarez who comes out. Good uppercut by Triple G. Fires back with a hook. Golovkin says, bring it, let's go. In the opening seconds, down 9, and these rounds are close. And even so, Chris, look, I'm trying to just make rounds 3 and 4. First 2 were slow. How do you have it?
Yeah, I've got it 78-74 in favor of Golovkin. I have been winning a lot. Has really asserted himself with that jab and landed the cleaner shots.
Well, I agree. Rounds 5 and 8, I've got clearly for Golovkin. And the judges are concentrating for the entire round.
That was a huge right hand by Canelo Alvarez there. Pushed Canelo
back, though. Gets Canelo into the corner. Both fighters extremely durable, both with good chins. The ring. It takes a lot of energy to get there. And Golovkin, Sergio, you can speak to this. When a man is constantly on your chest, what does that do to you?
I can see a little fatigue on combinations. His punches look like they still have sting behind them. That pressure busts pipes, Brian. And that's exactly what's happening here.
Golovkin is landing, and also if you see, when he gets up on his toes and he does a little dance toward Canelo. Body. Some of those are blocked, but that's good work.
Canelo looking a little winded at the end of this round.
Alvarez, I thought he came out faster early on, landed some good shots, and that right hand you just saw, even though Golovkin kind of rolled with it a little bit, didn't take that clean, it was the best and cleanest punch for Canelo Alvarez of the night.
Round 10 here at the T-Mobile Center in Las Vegas. Gennady Golovkin, Canelo Alvarez here, a super fight for the middleweight championship of the world. Canelo out firing early. Body shots, and then a right to the head. Canelo going to work.
Canelo's corner, his trainer Eddie Reynoso said we need.
Canelo is working now. Excellent work by Alvarez. Countered jabs by Golovkin. And a right hand by Canelo. Now we've got a war. Still methodical. Still within.
And missing the same punches. Whoever lands first.
Right hand. Good pace on those jabs by Golovkin. He's
down to the jab. The jab is the thing that's been landing for Golovkin and Canelo.
Every round, and a C fighter for the last two.
And that's the pressure that Golovkin's
They're letting more than a few feet
in the inside. You got to get your respect and then get out. Well, to me, he looks a little winded. He's backing up.
He's done a fine job in this fight, moving in and out almost imperceptibly. Now these shots landing by Golovkin, counter right by Canelo.
Golovkin can't wait to come back. Beautiful body shots there by Canelo, but the point is, Canelo's he's not boxing anymore. He's being pushed back, and that's the difference.
Outstanding in the second half of that round to clearly win that round.
I don't think he clearly won it, but I gave it to him.
11, middleweight championship of the world. You can say he picked up the work rate and the energy in that. Another shot to the body, right on the waistband by Alvarez. Has that little jump, Sergio. He never lets you just ease back and take a deep breath.
No, it's a mental pressure, a physical pressure, and that's
And Gennady Golovkin is an expert at cutting the ring.
Chavez, and Golovkin does it just
I mentioned it earlier, guys like Austin Trout, Erislandy Lara, even an aging Shane Mosley. But he is used to imposing his will and eventually driving his man back. He is normally always the stronger man in the ring. This is a different story. This is a different animal in front of him tonight. Not flush, but it lands. So does that jab.
forced to fight back. And Canelo, he's moving nicely, but he's not fighting back as much as Golovkin.
That uppercut from Golovkin and a hook.
Fighters, that sharp uppercut that landed right on the chin.
You could say that both ways, right, Sergio?
Absolutely.
Both landing good.
Got it 106, 103 in favor of Gennady Golovkin. There were a couple of swing rounds there, but Golovkin has done enough to win this fight in my card.
Who'd you give the 11th round to?
I gave it to Golovkin. I thought he did enough towards the end of that round. The counter-punching for Canelo was effective, but not enough of this. Middle of the ring.
There we go. We saw beautiful combination work. When they land, they're very impressive. The fight could be, look, unofficially, that means this could swing it. It's a close fight. Good jab work there. Right hands.
Body shots from the inside by Canelo, and then that landed the headshots up top.
Golovkin still moving forward, but he ate a lot of shots. Golovkin marches back. Now he's throwing. He looks to answer everything.
Believes the outcome of this fight.
And this could be either way.
Is the unified champion at 160 pounds, but Canelo is the A side.
Scoring a fight ringside and we're calling it. You can see the reaction of the fighter when they get of a fight. That's not in question. Outstanding bout for the middleweight title. Canelo with the superior work rate. Can he maintain it and win this round? And could that be enough to swing it?
But it's been kept clean, and Kenny Bayless hasn't really had to be involved that much no more. These are two champions, two professionals fighting like them.
We're here to win this round. Canelo fighting to the final bell. Triple G comes back.
There is no way you can watch this fight and see 10 rounds for Canelo Alvarez. That scorecard submitted by Adelaide Bird is one of the biggest embarrassments that I've seen.
It's difficult to fathom, even with a bunch of close rounds. Sergio?
Triple G never stood a chance against Adelaide Bird. 118, 110 is just ridiculous.
Agreed there, Sergio. Canelo Alvarez goes to 49-1-2, and the first blemish on Triple G's record, 37-0-1. Still an outstanding fight at the highest level